What's good, Washington fans? The Washington football team has made some roster moves today. We have signed a cornerback, Cornelius Elder, aka Corn Elder, from guess where, the Carolina Panthers. Ron Rivera did draft Corn Elder in 2017 in the 5th round. Also, Daryl Roberts has been put on the injury reserve, so this is a corresponding move. Derek Forrest is going to be moved up to the roster, or he's going to be in practice. He's going to be practicing. He has a 21-day window to come back to the active roster. And they did release the kicker, Chris Blewett. Of course, everybody made fun of his name. And they brought in the defensive back, Cole Luke, as well, who used to play for the Panthers as well. So, of course, I've said it many times, we are the Washington Panthers. Ron brings in a guy who he's familiar with. We already know how Ron moves. I kind of want to talk about the interview that he had with 106.7 The Fan. Didn't like some of the things that he said at all. Did not like some of the things that he said in some of the press conferences the last couple of days after we lost. He's been getting snappy and snippy with the media. And this is the DC media for you. This is all media. DC media, DC media definitely chew you up and spit you out. We've seen it with many coaches before, time and time again. We just have to see how Ron handles losing. He has to do 2 radio shows weekly, along with the press conference he has to do. So it's going to be a long season for Ron Rivera if, he's letting the media get to him. He's getting snappy every time, and he keeps, having these long answers. He just has to move smarter, and he's talking a lot. He talks a lot, and the media's going to chew him up and spit him out. They're going to twist his words and all kinds of stuff. We already know how it goes in D.C. But yeah, I didn't like some of the things that he did say yesterday on the interview, 106.7 Fan. Now, I am going to talk about Corn Elder. That's mostly what I want to talk about in this video very quickly. I do think he's going to get some playing time because of the depth. Troy McTyer being out. What's his name? Daryl Roberts being out now. So our cornerback depth is not too hot right now. So we got to bring in guys from practice squads and whatnot. So this guy, he's decent from what I've seen. 5'10", 185 pounds. Went to the University of Miami. He had a lateral kick return touchdown against Duke a couple years ago. That was pretty famous. He was all ACC for Miami at corner. He's played in 30 games so far in his career with 1 start. He's more of a nickel cornerback, slot cornerback. He can play outside a little bit, but he's primarily a nickel corner. He had 40 tackles in his career. He had 40 tackles last year and only 2 missed tackles last year as well. Only 1 start. Played in all 16 games. He can play special teams as well. Had 1 tackle for loss. This guy, he's a really good run stopper as a corner and a really good tackler. You look at his advanced numbers. Only gave up a 68% completion percentage, and then also only gave up a 91 quarterback rating when targeted. So that's pretty solid, and a missed tackle rate of 4.8%. So he's a really good tackler for a guy his size, being 5'10", 185 pounds. He is a solid tackler. Now, he did give up a game-winning touchdown to the Vikings. That's the only touchdown that he did allow. So it's rough that he gave up a game winner against the Vikings last season. So PFF grades from last year had a 68.5 grade overall, which is okay, which is decent. Better than a lot of the guys that are playing for us right now. Better as a defensive back, as a DB, a better grade than Landon Collins, probably a better grade than Kendall Fuller. All the guys right now on this roster. I mean, you can't get any worse than the way our corners and safeties have played, to be honest. You really can't. The Chiefs are just as bad as us, though, to be honest with you. 74.2 run stopping grade. Like I said, he's a good tackler. 68.2 coverage grade, solid in coverage for the minimal snaps that he played. Didn't play a lot of snaps, but when he has played, he has been solid. Allowed the 2nd lowest passer rating allowed on the Panthers last year as a corner, and the 2nd lowest completion percentage on the Panthers last year as well. He does play special teams, like I said before, so he does offer position flex, as Ron Rivera loves. Just a little background on him. He played basketball in high school, had an offer to Purdue to play basketball. Then he tore his meniscus and just decided to keep it, just to stay with football. He was on the Giants. So the Panthers drafted him in 2017. Then he was waived during the final roster cuts on August 30th, 2019. And then the Giants picked him up on September 2nd, 2019. And then he went back to the Panthers on November 12th. He was signed by the Panthers off the Giants practice squad. Then this offseason, he signed with the Detroit Lions on April 1st, 2021. So he was basically a camp body for the Lions. Then he was released on August 31st. And then he came back. Then he went back to the Panthers on September 14th. and then we just took him off of their practice squad. So he's bounced around a couple times. He did have an injury in his rookie year, so that basically set him back. He was placed on injured reserve in his rookie year in 2017. So that injury did set him back a little bit, but he has bounced back here. It's kind of bounced back off of the Panthers a couple times. Now he ends up with Ron Rivera, Marty Herney, and guys like that for the Washington football team. So, we'll see what we can get out of this guy. Let's look at his scouting report as well. His strengths is that he doesn't realize that he's undersized, so that's a good thing. Like I said, he's a thumper. He's a hard hitter. You can look at his Miami tape as well. This guy can tackle. He's a tackling machine. He's a really good tackler. He's a really good tackler. Plays physically, and with good confidence. You can tell he's a physical tackler, as I keep saying. Patient from press with footwork and body control for extended mirroring of release. Great short area quickness, gets into receivers and can take their route off schedule. So we have not been pressing up a lot. We've been staying behind the first down line. So hopefully we are a little aggressive this week. We'll see with the Chiefs. I mean, they got some guys that can fly. Tyreek Hill, Pringle, McCole Hardman. All those guys can run, and they will run past you like these receivers have been running passes these first 5 games of the season. He's twitchy and quick and close to the ball. Former high school basketball star with point guard quickness and little hesitation in his transition. So those are the positives from him. His scouting report coming out in the 2017 draft. His weaknesses is it says that he will be too small to play outside in the pros, lightweight, and will get big boyed by bigger slots who play with good route strength. Quicker than fast, lacking a second gear, and will give up some separation on intermediate and deep routes. So we'll see how this guy can do. Solid signing here. We'll see if he can help out, like I said, because we need corner help badly, and there's some guys that definitely need to be benched. And they need to elevate Jeremy Reeves. They need to play DeShazer Everett more. There's some guys that definitely need to play more today. But when you look at the injury report, Sam Cosme was not seen at practice today. Brandon Sheriff with the knee injury, he's probably not going to play on Sunday. Curtis Samuel was on the side field. Cam Sims was also on the side field as well with the hamstring injury. De'Ami Brown did practice today. Antonio Gibson was at practice, but he did watch. So I'm expecting Antonio Gibson to play on Sunday. De'Ami Brown, we'll see. It sounds like he's possibly going to play on Sunday. So I do want to get to the Rivera quote real quick. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter real quick what he said. But basically, he said, I wish we didn't go 7-9. It's really hard right now. So, it's a lot that he said in the quote, man. He says, man, I wish 7-9 last year wouldn't have been good enough to win the division that way. The expectations would have been much lower and would have been a little bit easier. This is hard. This is the way it is supposed to be. It is supposed to be hard because it is the only way you learn. So I do get what he's saying. But he said, I wish 7-9. But at the same time, you're the one that benched Dwayne Haskins and then put in Kyle Allen. And then we had to play Alex Smith because you wanted to chase the division. That's what you wanted to do. So that was your decision. You could have kept it a developmental year. And then in the offseason also, he did make moves going after Ryan Fitzpatrick, going after William Jackson III, who was a top corner, going after Curtis Samuel. And then also, he's talking about maturity and young guys. A lot of these guys are older. Bobby McCain is a veteran. Landon Collins is a veteran. Kendall Fuller is a veteran. A lot of these guys are veterans. I know on the front four, which is our best unit, or supposed to be our best unit, a lot of these guys are young. But the team that's really struggling right now is the back end, and a lot of those guys are veterans. So the maturity and young excuse is not flying for me. But, hey, we'll see how this season is. I'm not turning on Ron, but I just keep an eye open. Like I said, last year, I didn't like some of the decisions he made with going for 2. And I still don't like his in-game decisions. I still don't agree with a lot of things that he has done, keeping Dustin Hopkins, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We can go down the line on Ron Rivera. But I think he is a respectable guy. I think he's a leader of men. I do give him credit for that. But a lot of the decision-making, not playing Jamin Davis and developing your young talent, playing guys like David Mayo over him, questionable decisions from Ron Rivera. So we'll see how we do against the Chiefs. It's going to be a tough year. We play a lot of good quarterbacks, a lot of good teams. So you got to see how Ron reacts and responds when the tough gets going. Everything's peachy and creamy when you're winning games. Last year, we won the last 5 out of the last 6 games or something like that. We went on a nice streak, beating the Steelers, beating the Cowboys, beating all these teams. But you got to see how when things turn left and when things go bad, how Ron Rivera really acts and how he responds. Jack Del Rio's been bad. And, he was getting snappy in his press conference because they were asking questions about him taking over defensive play calling, asking questions about Del Rio. Those are legit questions. This defense has been putrid. So him getting snappy with the media, we'll see what happens, man. All right, y'all. Hail the football team. Peace.